America's leading consumer products rating service says one battery, Megatron 34 from Interstate, tested best. It ran circles around better-known brands and won by a mile. Megatron 34 from Interstate. Ask for it.
The night has always brought out the contemplative side of man.
Why am I here? Where am I going? Will they have Michelob when I get there? I'm not going if they don't have Michelob.
A recent Department of Energy study reveals that most American homes are under-insulated. So if you plan to build a house, add on to a house, or just re-insulate, you can find out what's right for your home from you-know-who. Just call Owens Corning at 1-800-GET-PINK.
Maury. 3:59 to go, first half. Arkansas trails UCLA 7-0. Last time the Bruins had the ball, they drove 93 yards for the only touchdown of the ball game. Aikman thus far 8 of 13 for 59 yards. After a play fake, he'll throw on first down, maybe gets rid of it. And a nice job by Sean Wills, number 37, to not only make the catch, but then bounce off one tackle and get it across the 30. Total offense, and 93 yards will help pad that offensive number.
And it's really been a game of defense. The UCLA linebackers have played well. So has their nose tackle, Waller, as the Arkansas linebackers have played pretty well thus far.
Second down, 5. Estridge touchdown, the only score of the game. Corwin Anthony, the tight end, goes left. So does Sean Wills. And gets by Atwater, and then breaks another tackle, and is out of bounds up at the 46. Richard Brothers finally caught up with him. But a 15-yard scamper for the freshman, Sean Wills.
18-year-old, and they believe he has a wonderful future ahead of him at UCLA. A darter. And what you mean by that is you're going to see he's a great cutter, and he doesn't lose any speed when he cuts. When he breaks, he accelerates off the foot, and then it sets up a block beautifully of McCracken, and then runs right through an arm tackle.
He danced by Steve Atwater, the outstanding safety of Arkansas. First down at the 46. UCLA leads 7-0, 3:13 to go in the first half. They'll plunge it up the middle with Maury Toy, 19-year-old freshman from Mountain Home, Idaho.
What UCLA would like to do on this drive is about 3 minutes left in the half. They're up by 7 points. Is use as much of the clock as they can, but still get something on the board.
Donahue looks on. Testimony, I think, to the pressure on coaches this year. He said yesterday, a win today would salvage the season. Mind you, they're 9-2 coming in.
Kind of an indictment of how we all think about sports, isn't it?
Aikman rolls right. Goes deep across the middle, incomplete for his tight end. Chad Rowland putting pressure on Troy Aikman, and Corwin Anthony, the intended receiver.
You know, the ability for Troy Aikman to roll out like this will give him, I think, an advantage next year in the pros as well, because with a great pass rush as you see in the NFL these days, you have to have a quarterback who's, one, big enough to see over linemen, but two, with some foot speed who can avoid the rush. Aikman has both of those things.
9 of 15 for 64 yards. Third. They've converted 5 third downs in a row. Aikman. Oh, he had Anthony wide open down the middle. Settles instead for Paul Richardson, number 87. A seldom used third string wide receiver, as Terry Donahue is deploying everything at his disposal on that sideline. That is a gain of 20 in the tackle made by Richard Brothers.
I tell you again, the Arkansas pass coverage is really doing a nice job. Nobody is coming open early, but because they're dropping 8 guys, there isn't a tremendous rush on Aikman, so he has a lot of time to find his second and third receivers. That time he found Richardson, which was his third guy.
2:13 to go in the half. First down after the 20-yard pass. Aikman to Paul Richardson. Corners playing way off as Aikman drops back. He settles right side for Maury Toy, the fullback. That is only the second catch of the season for Maury Toy. So we're seeing the full arsenal today.
Here is the three-man rush we're talking about, and 8 guys right here dropping back in pass coverage. And what that is doing is giving Aikman time to throw, but it's throwing his rhythm off. See, nobody is breaking wide open, so he has to step up into the pocket and dump the ball off to the backs. He hasn't done that a lot this year, but he has today.
1:53 to go before halftime as the Razorbacks look on. 2nd down and 3. And time has been called by Ken Hatfield's Arkansas Razorbacks. 1:53 to go first half. 2nd down 3, UCLA, and they have a 7-0 lead.
Now, when's that Tour de France thing?
According to a national survey, employers are looking for people who can handle heavy responsibilities. People with the ability to overcome obstacles, perform under pressure, and work well with others. Men and women with the pride and self-discipline it takes to reach new heights. Which is why some of the most successful people in the white-collar world start off green.
You know we're gonna be there, don't think twice. Service is part of our name. We're a part of your country, a part of your town, and no one else does it the same. We deliver, we deliver. It's the reason you trust us. You know that we're gonna come through. We're your home for service. We deliver for you. We deliver for you.
30 years ago, Southwest Conference champion TCU Horned Frogs met the Falcons from the Air Force Academy in perhaps the most comical game in the history of the Cotton Bowl. All told, 13 fumbles and 5 missed field goals. The summary of a game that resulted in a 0-0 deadlock. TCU coach A. Barton said later, the game didn't prove a dang thing. It was the last time TCU had made an appearance in the Cotton Bowl Classic. It was my first Cotton Bowl game. I was an 18-year-old college freshman and was dating a gal from Dallas. She said, my dad's got tickets for us to go to the Cotton Bowl. I thought, terrific, 50-yard line seats. This will be wonderful. This was before I'd ever heard of Bob Ucla. And that's where we sat to watch a 0-0 tie. Ben Martin and Abe Martin, the coaches, but the thing is, I didn't pay for them.
You haven't since either.
No. 2nd down and 3. Ball on the 21. Maury, no, it's Sean Wills. Big hole. Down to the 3-yard line and perhaps the 2. Patrick Williams saved the touchdown.
And Sean Wills ordinarily plays on grass, but sometimes when you play on turf, you could even cut a little bit better. But this was a sensational cut by Sean Wills and a nice blocks up front. But Wills is supposed to go right, stops, pushes off the right foot, and makes a terrific cut into the soft spot of the defense. I've been impressed with Wills thus far.
A true freshman for UCLA. Had a terrific early start of the season. Now Toy and Brown in the backs. 1:25 to go. Danny Thompson starts in motion. They hand it to Toy, and he picks up a yard.
And in UCLA, it's really doing what they want to do. They're obviously getting themselves in a position to score and using the clock. A minute 15 left in the half. They like to use as much of that as they can before they score.
Sean Wills back in. 1:05 to go first half. The only touchdown in the ball game came at the end of a 93-yard, 19-play drive by the Bruins. And this time they took over thinking, I believe, let's hold on to the lead and run out the clock. But 2nd down and goal from the 1. Timeout. .47 seconds to go before halftime. Bruins will talk it over trying to get one more touchdown before the break.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, it's what we've always done. To let the best of man can get. On so many faces, it's plain to see. We give you all we have to give, for all a man can be. Where the race is run, you're the champion. Gillette.
The Gillette Atra Plus system with the Lubra Smooth Strip for the best a man can get.
At BASF, we believe to see in new ways, you need to see with more than one pair of eyes. Synchronize your energies with the people down the hall and around the world. Because the more ideas you can build on, the higher we can all reach. From agribusiness to healthcare, we're creating new worlds by seeing in new ways. BASF, the spirit of innovation.
Why is video whiz Kevin Keegan driving the school board bonkers and the students wild?
Cue them.
Could it be TV 101? Special time, special night tonight.
47 seconds to go before the halftime break. 7-0 UCLA and a second down and goal from the 1. Defensively,
Arkansas needs a big play here. I think what they need to do is an all-out blitz, just sell out and try to create a negative play.
Estwick and Wills in the backfield behind Aikman. Sean Wills popped by LaSalle Harper.
Sal Harper on the inside did a great job of stopping Sean Wills. And anytime an inside linebacker makes a play like that, the first thing he does is read inside, sees the guard coming out, avoids that, avoids the fullback, avoided two guys, and then makes the play on Wills. Again, that's just what we're talking about, creating the negative play. Third down right now, the Arkansas defense has to be thinking about some sort of pass.
Timeout UCLA, their second. And they'll have a third down and lost a half yard. It's third and goal, about 1.5 yards away. As Troy Aikman talks it over on the UCLA sideline. Defensively,
Don't they run it, jam the butt first. Stop the run first. They might go for it and go for a field goal, so be ready for that. Go get them, rise up.
Okay, you see Ken Hatfield, the head coach. Ken Hatfield, the head coach, is we got to stuff the run first and then worry about the pass. And the thing we haven't seen much from UCLA yet, although he's in now, is Charles Arbuckle, the talented tight end from UCLA. He's been featured in their passing game this year.
Wills and Danny Thompson check in. Thompson on a wing to the right. Estwick is the fullback. Third and goal with 27 seconds to go in the half. Fake, Aikman has two men open. One deep, caught tight end Corwin Anthony. Touchdown, UCLA. Terrific job of a play fake by Troy Aikman.
And again, one of those subtle things. You think about Aikman throwing the ball downfield, making all the big plays. There, it was just a play fake. And he was trying to early hit his tight end Arbuckle. His secondary receiver was Anthony.
Anthony gets his 5th touchdown of the season, and it comes with 21 seconds to go. There's Charles Arbuckle. And Alfredo Velasco on to try the extra point. Velasco perfect for the season, 41 of 41 in the regular season, and 2 of 2 today.
Watch the play action fake here of Troy Aikman first. Again, remember the Arkansas coaches said stop the run first. And as he fakes, you see a lot of red jerseys go after Estwick, and then he rolls out to the right and finds his backup tight end Anthony, who was the secondary receiver in the back of the end zone. His first receiver was right here, but you're going to see Anthony come back here. Watch, Arbuckle comes in and then back out, but he is covered, and then Anthony makes the play. See, Arbuckle's covered well there by Brothers, but Anthony finds just a little soft spot there in the back.
Corwin Anthony, the backup tight end from Bakersfield, California, gets his 5th touchdown catch of the season. And that gives the Bruins a 14-0 edge with 21 seconds to go in the 53rd annual Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas, Texas. 2 drives on the last two touchdowns, rather, on the last 2 drives by UCLA. Vern Lundquist, along with Pat Hayden, John Dockery, and Jim Nantz, here from the Cotton Bowl as UCLA makes its first visit ever here. Barry Foster getting ready to return the kick. Kirk Maggio will kick off. They scrib it, and it's taken by Kerwin Price. And he is knocked out of bounds, or tackled rather, at the 33. Rosine Keaton makes the tackle of a 17-yard return. Coming up next Sunday, 3:30 Eastern Time, beginning with the NFL today, from Chicago, the 49ers, who looked terrific yesterday, going against a Chicago Bear team that may have looked terrific in the second half. None of us who were there are sure, but it ought to be a dandy match, the 49ers and Chicago. Jimmy Williams in at quarterback. He's the thrower for the Razorbacks, and Jim Nantz coming up just a few moments from now at halftime. Flag down. So is Williams. Might have gotten the first down after the 43. 6 seconds to go in the half. But there is a flag on the play as Marcus Patton made the catch.
Well, Vernon, Arkansas will go down and go in at halftime down 14 points, and it's really important in the 3rd quarter.
Holding offense.
I think for them to score quickly. They can't get into a scoring fest with UCLA. They cannot allow UCLA to score in the 3rd quarter, and they need to make up some ground.
Against the offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
I think everyone understands that a wishbone team is not a catch-up team. Could the same be said of a flexbone team, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. They do have more opportunities to throw the football, but basically how they win is keep the game close and get in the 4th quarter and give their kicker, Kendall Traynor, a chance to win it. They've done that 4 times this year. He's been the difference.
Kenny Hatfield talking with his wide receiver, Tim Horton. Hatfield, the first man to ever play and coach his alma mater in the Cotton Bowl. He was an outstanding punt returner for the Arkansas team in '64. That's the end of the first half with our score. UCLA 14, Arkansas nothing. Jim Nantz back with a college football report after this message and a word from your local station.
You know why Spuds McKenzie has so much fun at parties? Because he's always in control. Spuds knows it's cool to live by one simple rule. Know when to say when.
A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
Surprise. Here's the tickets for your honeymoon.
Oh, Dad, you shouldn't have.
And we're going with you.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Northwest frequent flyers earn free trips fast, so you can give them away or go away or both.
When the people of Rehoboth, Delaware decided to clean up the waterfront, you know who they teamed up with? Hefty Cinch Sack. The garbage bags that could handle 1 mile of littered beach. Fill them up and they stay closed up. Open them up and put in more. It was a tough job, and certainly not one for a wimpy bag. Rehoboth Beach, reclaimed by the people, and Hefty Cinch Sack. The bag that makes it a cinch to keep America clean, and your little corner in it.
This is CBS.
If you gotta go when it's 20 below, you better have it. Champion Battery. If you gotta go because the stork's arriving, you better have it. Champion Battery. 700 cold cranking amps. Pound for pound the most powerful battery you can buy. Guaranteed to start your car. So if you gotta go, go to Auto Express at Montgomery Ward. Because we've got it. And we'll match anyone's advertised price on the Champion 700 battery. Auto Express at Montgomery Ward.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like a spare moment, 2 hours to catch up, and 10 seconds to go.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could actually buy time?
Just give me a minute, would you?
Well, you can buy time. Extra working time with mobile phone service from U.S. West Cellular.
Excuse me, can I get a couple of extra days?
Mobile phone service. What you're really buying is time.
Could I have till tomorrow morning?
U.S. West Cellular.
You can learn to earn.
I did it.
You can make your mark.
I did it.
Learn to earn in careers like accounting, business administration, computer science, secretarial science, or fashion merchandising.
So here's your chance.
I did it.
Now it's your turn.
It's my turn.
Call Parks Junior College today.
We'll help you learn to earn. We'll help you learn to earn. We'll help you learn to earn.
Make a break for the Pat Sajak Show, late night on 7, starting January 9th.
CBS Sports coverage of the 53rd Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic is sponsored by your friends at Anheuser-Busch, who remind you to know when to say when. Gillette and the Gillette Atra Plus shaving system. Gillette, the best a man can get. The heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. And by Hefty Cinch Sack, the bag that makes it a cinch to keep America clean.
Welcome back to halftime at the Mobile Cotton Bowl. 2 second-quarter touchdowns for the Bruins. They lead Arkansas 14-0.
Jim and Tammy Baker are back on TV. The story at 5 on 7 News.
14-0. UCLA leads Arkansas at the Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic in Dallas, Texas. Vern Lundquist along with Pat Hayden and John Dockery. As the Razorbacks will kick off, UCLA won the toss to start the game and deferred its option to open the second half, which means that's your first look at the All-American place kicker, Kendall Traynor, who has kicked 23 field goals in succession. And here's the kick by Traynor. Bounces and will be taken by Brian Brown at the 1. And he gets out as far as the 21-yard line. First down. Tackle made by Stephen Marshall.
And some halftime numbers. The key thing, I think, Vern, was the balance that UCLA showed in the first half. Look at rushing yards, had 92 for UCLA. Arkansas coming into the game was just giving up 90 for the entire game. But in the second quarter, 152 yards and the 14 points for UCLA. That's where it all happened. So balance, they had 92 yards rushing and 93 passing.
And Aikman threw it to 10 different receivers, 5 of whom are running backs. He hands it off. Sean Wills cut down at the 25-yard line.
Well, Vern, you make an interesting point. They threw the running backs 5 times, and I think that's what makes Terry Donahue a good bowl game coach, is the ability to adjust. They came into the game not throwing the ball much to the backs all season long, but they had to make that adjustment during the course of the game, and they've thrown the ball to the backs 5 different times to 5 different backs.
And you could see the problems that Arkansas had moving the ball with a total of 25 yards in the first half. Second down and 7. 2 wide receivers come way wide to the right. McCracken starts in motion, number 12, and Aikman on a sprint out. This one, he'll keep. McCracken gets a little bit of a block, and then Aikman is out of bounds with a first down at the 33-yard line.
Again, very good secondary coverage, forces him to run. You're going to see again, I believe it's about an 8-man drop here. By that time they bring 4. But the thing is, I think Arkansas is going to have to change its pace because Troy Aikman's been awfully patient and dinking the ball here and there. I think from time to time they're going to have to come after him with some sort of blitz.
Aikman has passed it 18 times. He's completed 12. He has run 5. Right side, Sean Wills. Tackle made by Patrick Williams, number 24. Syracuse leading LSU in the 4th by 13. Our score is 14-0. Second down and 10. Paul Richardson checks into the lineup for UCLA, and so also does Lawrence Berkeley. So the third set of wide receivers, you see Clemson's lead over Oklahoma. Second down and officially 9. Draw play. Wills cuts left. Nifty little move. and he's out to the 42-yard line.
Again, another adjustment by UCLA. They came into this game not really running many draw plays or screen plays, which is unusual for a passing team. But again, we saw it once or twice in the first half, and there again to Sean Wills.
Wills with 49 yards on 7 carries. UCLA converted their last 7 third down attempts in the first half. Nothing more than 10. They converted them from 1, 7, 6, 2, 5, 5, and 1 yards. Remember that?
I've got it memorized, yes, absolutely.
Third down and 2. Aikman goes left. He'll keep it. First down, second time he's run for one in this drive. Tackle made by Reggie Hall and LaSalle Harper.
You know, you worry so much about his right arm and him getting the ball downfield. Sometimes you play so soft in the pass coverage, you allow runs like that. It's only 3rd and 3. There should have been a guy upfield containing him, but he has the kind of ability to run and dart for the first down.
It has not happened, but we were talking with Gil Brandt, the Cowboy player personnel director, before the game and said, what if he has an awful game today? And Brandt said, won't make a bit of difference.
He's our guy.
He is going to be the #1 choice. 4-man rush. To the outside. Otis Lloyd makes the tackle. The outside linebacker drew a bead on Troy Aikman.
And give Fred Goldsmith, the defensive coordinator from Arkansas, a chance. Top of the screen, Otis Lloyd. We talked about adjustments. Now they decide to blitz. Nobody picks up Lloyd. And his coach says he is the toughest small guy I have ever been around. He's only 5'9" and 185 pounds, plays outside linebacker, but he is a tough guy.
Otis Lloyd from Stuttgart, Arkansas, said he wanted you to make sure you pronounced that correctly, right?
And you did. Well done. Well done.
Second down and 18. Mike Farr starts in motion. Draw play. Wills, big hole. What a move. Out of the tackle, first down plus.
Sean Wills is a great guy off the cut. They call him, his style, a little bit of a darter. You don't need to give him a big crease because once he gets through, he's going to do a lot of it on his own. Again, the draw play, something Arkansas had not seen much of. And again, the speed off the cut is the difference between Sean Wills and a lot of other running backs.
That is a gain of 26 yards before Patrick Williams makes the tackle. And Wills now with 75 yards on 8 carries. First and 10, UCLA from the 33. Draw, fake the draw. And Aikman down. Back at the 46. Michael Shepard
and
Tony Ollison.
I think he was patient, Troy, but Troy Aikman either was injured or so he has an equipment problem. But watch Aikman, he threw the ball short in the first half. Only 1 ball deep. Again, 2 of 4 on the left side. Most of those passes right over the middle and to the right side. Now he's looking a little bit longer, but I saw him signal to Terry Donahue after the play. He may have gotten poked in the eye, Vern, on the pass rush.
That brings on Ron Carricker, number 10, a junior from Morgan Hills, California, who's only thrown 7 passes this year. Draw play again. Sean Wills goes left and runs into LaSalle Harper.
You know, Vern, that happens a lot when a quarterback is rushed and sacked and there's a couple of guys around him. Sometimes you're going to get a finger in the eye, and I believe that's what happened to Aikman.
A flag down as well on the last play. Holding against UCLA.
And this is the most important defensive series for this Arkansas team in the game. Down by 14 points. Now Troy Aikman's out of the game, and it's up to them now to give their offense a chance.
Reggie Hall, number 49, looking on as the option is discussed. And Aikman, after 1 play out, to the huge sighs of relief of UCLA fans and Cowboy fans everywhere, comes back in. Interesting, I saw a note that Aikman had taken out a permanent disability insurance policy in case he had a career-ending injury, not just for this game, but for the year.
And you're allowed to do that now, obviously, under NCAA rules as of about 3 years ago.
Aikman is back in, so a 1-play rest. 10:20 to go, third quarter.
second of forever. What do you call here?
Well, you call on Andre Rison of Michigan State and send him deep, like he did last night in the Gator Bowl, despite the loss to Georgia. Across the middle. Is it caught and a fumble? I believe so. Yes, that is ruled a catch and a fumble.
I think it was Reggie Hall, the inside linebacker, who really hit Eswick. It wasn't Eswick's fault because the ball was well thrown. It was just a nice play by Hall. Again, watch number 49 right in the middle of your screen. He gets back into his zone, sees the back in front of him, and then he rallies to the football, and he puts the play on Eswick.
And it looked like he took 2 steps with the ball. Check again.
And clearly this was a reception. As you can see right there, he does have possession, so a nice call by the official.
First down 10, Razorbacks. Second turnover for UCLA. Grovey to Foster. Tackle made by Craig Davis, number 54. This is an Arkansas team, Pat, that averaged 246 yards on the ground per game. And they've not been able to move it today.
And it's largely been because of Jim Waller inside the nose tackle. I think Arkansas is going to have to make an adjustment here. We're going to watch it. A double teaming Waller with a center and at least 1 guard. Get 2 men, 2 big bodies on Waller.
Second down and 6. 14-0. UCLA leads as the sun breaks through. Play fake. Grovey still has it. Gets a block from Foster and is down at the 40. That'll bring up 3rd and 2. Now let's check in with John Dockery.
Vern, I'm down here on the sidelines, and for a moment of trepidation on Troy Aikman's condition. He was poked in the eye, came to the bench, they checked it out. His contact was loose. It was jarred loose. They put it back, and as you can see from that last play, he is fine. He will play for UCLA. Now back to you, Vern.
All right, John. 3rd and 2 as Aikman looks on.
Troy's a lot taller than I used to get a lot of knees in the eye. Not too many hands, though.
Whistled before the play.
You know, the coaching staff of Arkansas was looking for ways of getting Quinn Grovey on the corner of the defense going into this season. Some of their coaches visited Clemson and Florida State, some of them even the Redskins. But they like to get Quinn Grovey on the corner of the defense because that's where the big plays come in college football.
Got a dead ball, false start against the offense, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, that changes things considerably. 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7. The Razorbacks made only 1 third down in the first half.
You know, a lot of that, I think they faced 3rd and long an awful lot.
3rd and 17, 3rd and 14 among the rest. Kerwin Price checks in at running back. 3rd and 7 from the 45 of UCLA. Grovey being chased, gets rid of it, and that will be close for the first down. It depends on the spot.
See, Quinn Grovey is not going to necessarily beat you with his arm, but he can beat you with his feet. Big rush there inside by Meyer, I think number 92. Did a nice job of getting rid of the ball before he got the sack.
And here's the stretch of the chain. Got it. Back down to John Dockery.
You know, Vern, I caught Ken Hatfield coming out of the locker room at halftime. I said to him, why the problems on offense? He said, well, one of the reasons is our All-America offensive guard, Freddie Childress, is not there. But I asked him about a change at quarterback and throwing the ball more. He said, no change at quarterback, but we're going to try to find the underneath areas in that UCLA defense to move the ball. So we'll see more passing by Arkansas right now. Back to you, Vern.
All right, John, here is Quinn Grovey, who throwing the ball is now 2 of 4 for only 9 yards. That handoff to Foster gets him down to the 35-yard line.
And what they need to do is to be able to throw those balls underneath is, again, to roll Quinn Grovey out a little bit, to give him a chance to see and let things develop, and then he can dump the ball off maybe to a back or his tight end.
Syracuse leads LSU by 13, fourth quarter. Our score is 14-0 with 7:35 to go third quarter. Tim Horton brings the play in. He is the most experienced wide receiver for Arkansas, and he heads left. Not that the Razorbacks don't throw the ball. They average 146 yards through the air per game. They'll hand it off to Foster on first down. And that brings up yet one more third down play.
And again, the most important third down of the game for the Arkansas offense all day. They're down by 14. It's important right now to convert here and get something on the board, because you don't want to play catch-up all afternoon with UCLA. They have too many weapons. They need to keep this game close.
6:55 to go third quarter. Derek Russell brings the play in for Kenny Hatfield's Arkansas Razorbacks. See, they've had a long lead on third downs throughout the afternoon. Here comes Grovey on the corner, and it's almost picked off. Darrell Henley. And now will we see Kendall Traynor.
Well, remember, he attempted and made a 58-yarder against Miami.
And Traynor does hurry on. This is a young man, a senior, who has kicked 23 consecutive field goals, including that 58-yarder against Miami. He started the season 1 of 4 and was within one missed field goal of getting yanked. This will be from 49 yards away. The streak continues.
Wow.
49 yards. Now, that will not extend his NCAA or school record, because bowl records don't count. Chuck Nelson, now of the Vikings, holds the all-time record of 25, but that's 24 for Traynor.
Who says Chevy beats Ford? USAC tested Chevy's compact S10 with available Vortec V6 against 2 full-size Fords with standard 6 and available V8. 0 to 60, towing identical trailers. Chevy S10 beat both full-size Fords. That's pickup power.
And if a compact Chevy S10 with a V6 can out-accelerate a full-size Ford with a V8, imagine what it can do against Ford's little truck.
The heartbeat of America, that's today's Chevy truck.
No matter how you drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded Gasoline. Its high-octane detergent formula can unclog fuel injectors and give your car a new injection of power. For top performance, drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded, high-octane with a plus.
You're looking sharp, you're looking good, you've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, it's what we've always done. Gillette.
The Gillette Atra Plus system with the Lubra Smooth Strip for the best a man can get.
20 years ago, Darrell Royal brought his Longhorns into Dallas to face the Tennessee Volunteers. The young Texas Wishbone put on an awesome display, amassing over 500 yards total offense. Sophomore Steve Wooster made it 7-0. A James Street to Cotton Spire's 78-yard bomb, 14-0, and the Longhorns never looked back. Sam Weish, now the Cincinnati Bengal head coach, was one of 2 Tennessee quarterbacks who failed to move the balls. The Texas fans knew they'd witnessed something special as the Longhorns won the national title the following year. 6:32 to go in the third quarter of our ball game. Kendall Traynor just kicked his 24th consecutive field goal, the second longest in Cotton Bowl history. And it wasn't even close. I mean, that thing shot through. Look how high the ball was.
Unbelievable velocity off of his foot there.
Traynor, 24 in a row this year. The longest field goal in Cotton Bowl history. Greg Gant of Alabama, that was 50 yards. Look at this. Think that doesn't help the kickoff return average defensively? Brian Brown goes back as Kendall Traynor trots to the sideline. Football on a Monday. We've got basketball, a doubleheader coming up for you. Next Saturday, we'll tip it off with Temple and NC State at 2 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS, and that'll be followed by a matchup from Chapel Hill. The Iowa Hawkeyes visiting North Carolina with J.R. Reed back in uniform. That's at 4 o'clock Eastern Time next Saturday on CBS, the home of the NCAA Basketball Championship. First and 10, 14-3. 6:32 to go, third quarter. Sean Wills lost a yard. LaSalle Harper again. Boy, has he been a presence today.
You know, it's amazing. He lines up as an inside linebacker, but he gets to the outside of the defense very, very quickly, as he did there, to put the stop on Wills.
That gives Aikman and the Bruins a second down and 11. Aikman 13 of 19. Moderate yardage, only 100 yards. No bombs. He's adjusted and gone underneath. He'll draw this time to Wills. Look at him break a tackle and high step again. All the way out to the 31. Otis Lloyd with a tackle, and Sean Wills has a first down.
Anytime you run the draw play well, your center has to come up with a good block, and Frank Cornish, the center from UCLA, has had a very nice game today.
Wills 13 yards away from 100. He's got 87. First and 10, UCLA. 14-3, Bruins lead. It was 14-0 at the half. 2 long drives in the second quarter. Wills in motion, Aikman back to throw. That's not an easy pass. That's about 30 yards on a line.
For about a 4-yard gain. It's really probably not worth the risk, and most teams wouldn't call it unless you had a guy who had a shot arm like Aikman.
Really, Pat, how tough is that pass?
It's a very difficult throw because you have to throw it on a low trajectory. It has to be on a line, and oftentimes when you're playing on a field with a crown on it, as the Cotton Bowl is, it's a tough throw.
Second down 7, second and 6. Wills to the 41, and it's LaSalle Harper again.
So UCLA has really been working to their left on the left side, and that's where, again, Wayne Martin is absent today after the suspension. And you see 64 yards when they've run to the left, right behind the left tackle, Bobby Minifield, who's had a real nice afternoon.
If somehow you missed the story, Wayne Martin and Freddie Childress, both suspended by Ken Hatfield 10 days ago, violation of team rules. 3rd and 1. Fullback, Mark Estwick, number 22, the sophomore. And we'll see where they spot it. First down. Tony Ollison limps off, and he is the man who replaced Wayne Martin.
And that's a position they don't have a great deal of depth in. At the right defensive tackle. Martin is suspended, and Ollison gets hurt.
Well, and they go to a sophomore squadron named Robert Wynn from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, as Ollison is on the bench. 1st and 10. All kinds of movement up front.
What happens there, Frank Cornish, the center, as soon as he finds somebody jump offside, he will snap the ball, trying to get the 5-yard penalty. The question was, did Chad Rowland get back in time?
See Robert Wynn, who just replaced Ollison. He's number 50. The answer is no.
Watch Cornish, the center, snap the ball as soon as he sees somebody jump offside. It's a heads-up play by Cornish. Whoops, didn't quite get back.
Can break quarterback's fingers then, can't you?
Yeah, you can. You have to be ready for those.
5-yard penalty against the Razorbacks.
Now, speaking of Cornish, the coaches say he's the best one-on-one pass blocker they have ever seen. Most centers need help from the guards, but at UCLA, the guards help the tackles.
1st and 5, 3:34 to go in the first half. right side of the offensive line. And while they mark that off, let's go down to John.
Thank you, Vern. I'm here with Alan Murray, Chairman and CEO of Mobile Corporation, and we spent some time at the Army-Navy game. We talked about your sponsorship here at the Cotton Bowl. High expectations, have they been met?
Oh, absolutely, John. Great crowd, great response in the whole city. Mobile, blue sky, perfect day, great quarterback.
What's been the nicest part of it for you?
I think the people, the association with the schools, the university has been outstanding. We've had a great time. They treated us like we belong here. We love it. We love, of course, we do belong here.
Yes, you do a long-term commitment?
7 years.
Well, good. Thank you. And good
Okay.
luck to you, Alan. Now back to you, Vern.
Okay, John, if we see their corporate stationery, I have a feeling it'll be Mobile Blue. Gray letters. First down and 10 after the penalty. Aikman has 14 completions. You talk about diversifying your passing game. 11 different receivers.
The ability to adjust is the key to winning bowl games.
Toss left, Sean Wills. Gets about 3. LaSalle Harper, number 31, makes the tackle again.
Well, LaSalle Harper has been all over the place in the second half. Again, trying to attack the right side of the defense, but Harper, as the left inside linebacker, fights through a block of Zeno, number 79, and gets some help from his friends to put the stop on Wills. But again, UCLA continues to run to their left.
Harper from LaPorte, Texas, 2 years at Tyler Junior College before he joined the Arkansas program. Second down at 8. 4-man Razorback rush. Cornish put a defensive back on his back. And Estwick makes the catch to the 48. The tackle made by Richard Brothers, number 9.
Toughest tackle a defensive back can make is when the back comes out of the backfield and he's got him one-on-one. But that's the third time that Brothers has made a tackle that prevented a big play.
Richard Brothers, a senior, Wilson, Arkansas. Kendall Traynor looks on. He kicked a 49-yarder for the only Arkansas points. 1:45 to go, third quarter. 14-3 UCLA. Third and 4. Play fake. Aikman. Caught. First down at the 39. Mike Farr.
And that's a nice adjustment by Farr. It's the third time he's had to either go down or come back. Lots of receivers will wait, but he has done a nice job of coming back or making the adjustment as he did there to go low and make the catch.
Mike Farr, of course, the son of the great NFL player and UCLA grad Mel Farr. And Mike has his brother Mel Jr. played at UCLA and also has a cousin Andre who's on the squad. Leading receiver this year, primarily a possession receiver. He came in with 62 catches. First and 10 from the 38-yard line. Aikman changes. Gives it off to Wills. Dances left. Driven out of bounds after a 1.5-yard gain. And again, LaSalle Harper with the tackle.
Well, UCLA felt they could run left both because of Wayne Martin was gone and they could run at Otis Lloyd, but they're not getting a lot because of the inside play of LaSalle Harper. He's prevented some very, very big runs.
He's got to be in double digits for tackles now. By far the most active defender for Arkansas. Second down and 8. 1:01 to go, third quarter. 14-3 Bruins. Again, the sprint. That one might have one-hopped. Yes, it did. Incomplete pass. Intended for Reggie Moore, number 4.
And good coverage forces you to throw the out pattern away from the defender. And I think Troy Aikman was concerned about that. As you see, LaSalle Harper, what a day. 16 tackles and the interception, of course.
He is the leading tackler for the Razorbacks. And he's closing in on his season high. He had 21 against Miami.
Plays well in big games.
Third and 8.
Important down for this Razorback defense.
Blitz. And Aikman rolls out of trouble. Flag is down. Pass is caught by Moore. If the play stands at the 24, it will be a first down. with a flag in the backfield. Not all Arkansas folks here. There's some folks from the West Coast. Wipe out the first down.
And that's the kind of break that Arkansas needed right now that would have been given UCLA a first down in basically scoring territory. Now with the holding penalty and 3rd and long, their defense had the chance.
UCLA has been outstanding keeping drives alive this afternoon.
Holding against the offense, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, you made an interesting point in the first half. You said Aikman was like 63% on 3rd down. I think that's a very compelling statistic for a quarterback, because that's when you win and lose ball games, obviously, on 3rd down. And he's had a very good year at converting 3rd downs.
Now the problems are increased, however, because he's got 3rd and 18. UCLA has made 10 in a row 3rd down conversions. 10 in succession. None this long. Arbuckle caught. Arbuckle might have got away with a shove. And now it's 11 in a row. They got it complete over Ty Mason for 35 yards.
That ball was well thrown with velocity and with touch. The double zone, see the two safeties, the big hole down the middle that leaves a soft spot right down there for the tight end Arbuckle. And that was a well-thrown ball. You couldn't throw that ball any better because he was pretty well covered.
Had an active left hand as he and Ty Mason were struggling to get free of each other. And Ken Hatfield must be concerned now, as his defensive unit could not stop a 3rd and 18.
And UCLA has some of the best tight ends in the country in the tight end games. Really, they in Miami use the tight end better than anybody in college football.
11 consecutive 3rd down conversions for Terry Donahue's UCLA Bruins. The Mobile Cotton Bowl on CBS Sports will return after this message and a word from your local station.
How hot can it get inside your car's engine? This hot. 570 degrees under extreme conditions. Take a leading motor oil. Take Mobil 1 and watch. Of course, Mobil 1 costs more, but under extreme conditions, when you see what can happen to conventional motor oil, it doesn't pay to play with fire. Mobil 1. Isn't your car worth the extra protection?